Got it. So you have 3 kids or 4 kids?
I have 4 kids.
Enjoy the video, hit the like button.
State versus Broderick Davis Jr., 25 SC 005028. Mr. Davis, you just watched the police, so you kind of know how this is going to flow. Same process for you. You'll get sworn in, you'll be asked a whole bunch of questions. I need you to let me know if at any point you've got a question. Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Beza?
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in the matter currently before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. Can you please state your name for the record?
Broderick Darcell Davis Jr.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medicine?
No.
How old are you and how far have you gone in school?
I'm 22 years old and I graduated high school.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes.
You understand that you're charged with the following offenses. Count 1, burglary in the first degree, and count 2, aggravated assault by strangulation.
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges? And if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you may receive a jury trial.
I do.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney about all the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in this indictment, including any potential defenses?
I have.
Do you need more time to discuss this case with your attorney?
No.
Are you satisfied with her services?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive formal reading of the indictment?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive any and all defects in the indictment for purposes of this plea?
Yes.
Currently, the state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges. Do you, counsel, or you, Mr. Davis, know of any outstanding warrants related to these charges?
No.
Has your attorney advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each charge that you're pleading to?
Yes.
For count 1, the minimum is 1 year, maximum 20. And for count 2, as it is a family violence aggravated assault, the minimum is 3 years, maximum 20. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that this is a negotiated plea of guilty, which means the state will recommend to the court a sentence of 4 years probation, complete the family violence intervention program, complete 60 hours of community service, no weapons, seek and retain gainful employment, and no contact with the listed victim in this case. Your Honor, the listed victim and the defendant do have children in common, and they currently are using a third party for the children to go back and forth. The listed victim in this case wishes to leave it this way. So she would like no contact, but for their current third party exchange.
1 kid or several kids?
2.
2 kids.
Yes.
All right.
Now, do you understand that that is a recommendation to the court? But the court does not have to accept that recommendation. The court can sentence you to the maximum on each charge. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on other convictions in this jurisdiction as well as in other jurisdictions, including federal courts?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are on probation or parole, your probation or parole may be revoked based on you entering a guilty plea today?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are placed on probation of any kind, which you will be, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probation without being subject to revocation for the balance of your sentence?
Okay. Yes, that's fine.
You understand that you are not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes,
Are you a United States citizen?
I am.
You understand that if you were not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at a trial would, and that is true regardless of any advice from your attorney.
Yes.
You understand that neither the court, your attorney, nor the district attorney's office has anything to do with parole, the Department of Corrections, or Board of Pardons and Parole, and no one can guarantee that to you.
Yes, I understand.
You understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial. For
Yes.
example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote, the right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment.
Yes.
Are you asking to be treated as a first offender under the provisions of the First Offender Act?
I am.
Have you ever pleaded guilty or nolo contendere to, or ever been convicted of a felony in the state of Georgia or any other jurisdiction?
No.
Have you ever been sentenced for any crime, felony or misdemeanor, under the First Offender Act?
No.
Has your lawyer explained the First Offender Act to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you violate the terms of your first offender sentence or commit a new offense while on first offender probation, your first offender status could be revoked, you could be adjudicated guilty, and you could be resentenced up to the maximum sentence for each charge in this indictment?
Yes, ma'am. I understand it.
And do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you, and the right to testify or to remain silent and not incriminate yourself?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Now, do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights? And I'm going to list them. You're giving up the right to trial by jury, the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, the right to confront witnesses against you, the right to assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at a trial of your case, the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence, the right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence, the right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt, and the right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone forced you, threatened you, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No.
How do you plead to count 1, burglary in the first degree?
Guilty by Alfred.
How do you plead to counts 2, aggravated assault, strangulation, family violence?
Guilty by Alfred.
Are you pleading guilty because you have decided that it is in your best interest to do so?
Yes.
Are you aware that even if you do not admit guilt, this is a plea of guilty and places you in the same position as if you were convicted by a jury at a trial?
Yes, I do understand.
Is this guilty plea freely and voluntarily given with full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
You understand that you do not have a right to appeal directly from your guilty plea, but if you believe there is some error in your guilty plea, you can apply to appropriate appellate court to request a discretionary appeal?
Okay, yes.
And do you understand that the discretionary appeal procedure is outlined in OCGA 5635 and must be completed within 30 days of today?
Yes.
As to Mr. Davis's criminal history, Your Honor, I do not have any felony convictions out of the state of Georgia. In addition, if this case would have gone to trial, the state would expected its evidence to show that the defendant and the victim in this case, Marlene Hernandez Alvarez, share 2 children in common. On the day of the incident, which is August 2nd of 2023, the defendant came to Ms. Hernandez Alvarez's home. She lived with her sister, Jasmine, at the time, as well as Jasmine's 6 juvenile children. The defendant came over and demanded to come in and take the baby from the victim in this case, their shared child in common. The victim told him he could not have the baby and that he could not come inside. The defendant made forced entry into the home through a screen door. The evidence would have showed that he tried to take the baby out of the victim's arms. She gave the baby to Kimberly, which is a friend that was also there. Kimberly stayed in the back room with the baby and the children. The defendant then placed both of his hands around the victim's neck and squeezed for approximately 15 to 30 seconds. Officers did observe fresh marks and bruising on both sides of her neck. She declined medical attention. That is all from the state.
All right, thank you. Ms. Jackson, do you have any criminal history information on Mr. Davis?
There are 2 cycles. The last arrest was June the 22nd, 2024. out of Hateville, Georgia, for battery, family violence, and 5 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. He was not prosecuted. The date on that was August the 15th, 2025. Nothing in addition, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. Ms. Beza, you wouldn't have any idea if that non-prosecuted case involved the same victim?
I'll look it up right now, Your Honor.
Okay, if you can, that'd be great. Ms. Rios?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Davis is 22 years old. He was working at a warehouse, but he lost that job. Right now, he's looking at DoorDash. This not convictions, but these charges being on his record has made it hard for him to have employment. He's actually doing DoorDash under his another person's information because he's trying to be able to work to support his 4 children. He has a 2-year-old son and 2 one-year-old daughters. So I'm asking that you accept the plea under first offender and give him a behavioral incident date. And if you're inclined to do so, seal on the front end, because he's saying he's having such a hard time working and he wants to be able to provide for his children.
Okay.
As to Your Honor's question, I do not even see that case in our system. It may be sealed.
Okay.
The state obviously leaves it in the discretion of the court, but the state would object to sealing on the front end
Okay.
of the protective order.
I don't know if we mentioned earlier, but we did agree to the 2-year behavioral incident date, I believe.
Yes, the 2-year behavioral incident.
Tell me, I don't want to mess up a protective order, meaning there is one in place, or basically this sentence is going to constitute a protective order because one of the conditions most certainly will be no contact with Ms. Hernandez Alvarez.
That is correct. This sentence would constitute a protective order. And in my experience, when cases are sealed on the front end and the victim goes to the court to try to get a copy of the disposition, but she cannot access.
Got it. Okay. All right. Mr. Davis, I missed one thing. You answered one of the questions about how far you went in school. How far did you go in school?
Oh, I graduated high school,
Where'd you go to high school?
North Clayton High.
North Clayton High?
Yeah, Riverdale.
Okay. So you finished high school. All right. Tell me, you or your lawyer can do this, why this is an offered plea. It sounds like there were some eyewitnesses there who would say he busted in through the screen door. So the burglary part, or what?
As far as the aggravated assault, he said there was an argument, but it did not happen like how it's saying in the police report. And those witnesses are on her side, so they're obviously going to be more in support of the victim.
Her friend and her sister.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got it. So you have 3 kids or 4 kids?
I have 4 kids.
2 with Ms. Hernandez Alvarez.
Correct.
And then 2 other kids.
Yeah.
And you're 22.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're amassing quite a collection at a young age, and it sounds like you are already feeling the financial implications of that. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yes, sir.
I hope that you're thoughtful going forward about whether you want to add to the 4 or if 4 is going to be enough for you for a long, long time. You can control that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can. But I appreciate that you're trying to provide for the kids. They need a father figure in their life, and you getting locked up doesn't help with that. But it sounds like, other than whatever happened in Hateville a year and a half ago, and this, which is particularly old, you've been doing okay.
Yes, sir.
The other 2 kids, are they with the same mom, or is it's a mix of 3 moms?
It's a mix of 3 moms.
Okay. Are you on better terms with the other 2 moms?
Yes.
Okay,
No
good.
problem.
And tell me who, I don't need the name, although we may need to put it in the sentencing sheet. Who is the third party you work, when you want to be with the 2 kids you had with Ms. Hernandez, who is it that you reach out to arrange that?
My mother and my dad.
So your parents, they then reach out to Ms. Hernandez saying, I mean, they're grandparents. And so
Yeah.
they're reaching out saying, could we see are they boys, girls, what?
Boy and girl.
Okay, so we'd like to see our grandkids. And so your parents do that. And then when your parents are seeing them, you obviously can be with your kids.
Yes.
Okay. So it would be your 2 parents who would be the ones, and Ms. Hernandez is saying, that's fine. I don't mind getting a text or a phone call from your mom or your dad.
Yes.
But when it comes to you, Broderick Davis Jr., I don't want to hear from you.
Yes,
You understand that?
I do.
Okay, all right. Are all four kids local?
They are.
I mean, Metro Atlanta. There's no one in Virginia. You heard the guy who
Yeah,
pled
they're
recently.
all local. Yeah, they're all local. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Do you have questions about anything we've talked about?
No.
Okay. Well, Mr. Davis, I find there's a factual basis for your plea. It sounds like some of what happened, it would be a bunch of witnesses against one witness if there was testimony to a jury. And then maybe what went down specifically between you and Ms. Hernandez once your kid had been taken to that other room might just be he said, she said. But I can understand why you don't want to go to trial. And if the jury credited the testimony of these other witnesses, that jury could find you guilty of both these offenses. So I'll accept your plea, but it's an offered plea. I also find that your plea is knowing and voluntary, meaning you've understood what we've been talking about. Is that a fair statement?
It is.
And no one's forcing you to enter the plea. Ms. Rios, can someone in my office sign the indictment on your behalf?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Beza?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Davis, can we sign your name to the indictment indicating your guilty plea?
Yes, y'all can.
All right, we'll do that. First offender is something you qualify for. You only have 2 arrests. You have no convictions. It's an opportunity. It's a good opportunity because it means that this is not a conviction. When you leave here today, you don't need to, if you're looking for work, say, well, but I'm also a convicted felon. You don't have to check that box on any applications. And if you get through your sentence successfully with no big hiccups, then it can be expunged. It can be taken off your record. All good for you if you're trying to go back to school, get a job, etc. It carries with it a risk, though, that I need to make sure you understand. You are still young, and even though you are a father of 4, I don't know that you've necessarily grown fully into the shoes of a parent. And if you mess up 6 months from now, 9 months from now, and get angry with one of the mothers of your kids and you hit her or something, you get arrested again, not only will you have those new charges, but I promise you're going to be back here. And the prosecution's going to be saying, we gave this guy a chance, first offender, and look, he beat up his girlfriend. If that happens, I will take away your first offender status. It will become a conviction. And I can sentence you up to 40 years. I'm not saying you'll get 40 years. You shoot someone, it'll be 40 years. But if it's just as simple as she got a fat lip or a black eye, it's going to involve some time away from your family and your kids because you will have shown, I'm not there yet. I am not ready to be in a family situation where it's safe for everyone involved. I'm hopeful you're done with all this stuff, but if you're not, I just need you to appreciate the downside of first offender. It gives a judge a whole lot more to work with because I'm going to go along with this recommendation. And so you have 4 years probation. If it were a felony conviction, the most I could ever revoke would be the 4 years. And if you've done a year, then it would only be 3 years. And if you've done 2 years, it'll only be 2 years. But with first offender, if you pick up new charges, then if the state persuades me to take away the first offender status, I get to resentence you. And we're back to these 2 numbers, 1 to 20 for the burglary and 3 to 20 for the aggravated assault. I don't want to share that with you to scare you or anything. I hope if I see you again, it's because we bump into each other on the street, or you're a Uber driver and you drive me somewhere, or you're a doctor and you fix my kid's broken arm. But if I see you in this context, you just need to know it will be a real bumpy ride. You feel like you understand the benefits and the risk of first offender.
Yes, sir.
Understanding that, do you want to be sentenced as a first offender?
Yes.
You pause for a minute. Do you want to talk to your lawyer about it, or you think you got the good and the bad of it?
I think I pretty much got it under.
No questions?
No question. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll sentence you as a first offender. Your sentence on count 1 is 4 years. Your sentence on count 2 is 4 years. They'll run concurrently with each other, meaning at the same time. They'll be probated. Special condition of probation number 1, no contact with Marlene Hernandez Alvarez. You don't call her, you don't write her, whatever social media things people your age do, don't connect with her through those. And don't use a friend to do that. Hey, Marlene, just Broderick's wondering how you're doing. Don't do that. If she shows the prosecution, look, I keep getting these texts. They're friendly, it's a little heart or it's flowers. If it's from you, that's going to mess up your probation. She needs to go her own way. The only way she knows you exist is because mom or dad are reaching out saying, we'd like to see our grandkids. That's it. You'll need to complete the Family Violence Intervention Program, which is a series of classes that'll help you manage this kind of situation better in the future. 60 hours of community service. You'll need to take care of those in the first 6 months of your probation. And I will set a behavioral incentive date. I'm gonna make it 3 years and not 2 years. So January 7th of 2029, if you've done everything you need to do on probation and there've been no hiccups, they can end it a year early. But with first offender, I'm gonna stretch it out that extra year beyond what your lawyer asked for. I think I covered everything. Ms. Beza, anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
I didn't ask you this, you may have mentioned it, but Ms. Hernandez Alvarez is aware that this is how the state's recommending the case be resolved.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Rios, anything else on behalf of Mr. Davis?
I just wanted to put on the record that he has informed me that she keeps reaching out to him and him and his family have concerns because they're like, how do we deal with this situation? Because she keeps calling him.
Great question. Mr. Davis, what you need to do if that continues to happen is let Ms. Rios know, and Ms. Rios will then ask the prosecutor to have a conversation with Ms. Hernandez. And Ms. Hernandez may say, you know what? I don't want no contact anymore. I'm okay with phone or whatever, and then we can modify the sentence so that then you could text her back.
Yes, sir.
It's healthier for the kids if you and Ms. Hernandez can communicate. But for whatever reason right now, she is saying no contact. It's not meant to be a trap. If the evidence is she texted you and texted you and texted you, and you finally wrote back saying, knock it off, you're not in trouble. You need to ignore it, but if that's what you did, that's not the kind of thing where the sky falls on you. But if she keeps doing something like that, let Ms. Rios know, because maybe she is rethinking the no contact and wants to be able to communicate with you directly, especially about your kids. Here's a picture of Junior. He took his first step, that kind of thing. A mom might want to share that with the dad. Right now, you can't respond to something like that. But I'm open to changing it if I hear from the state Ms. Hernandez is okay with telephonic contact, or it can be in person, but your mom or dad need to be there at the same time. We can always make it a little more flexible. But for now, it is a very bright line. A text from you to her violates your probation, even if you're responding saying, stop texting me. Okay? Any questions about that?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Rios?
Your Honor.
Your address, is it in Fulton County?
No.
What county?
Clayton County.
Clayton County?
Yeah.
Okay. When we're done here, you're going to meet with Ms. Simpson, who's going to give you reporting instructions for probation. You'll report to Clayton's probation office because you live in Clayton County. And that's where you'll be supervised. I'm not going to seal anything right now. If we end up modifying the sentence because Ms. Hernandez wants to have contact with Mr. Davis, then you should renew the request to seal.
Thank you.
Okay.